page on Instagram stopped me. It held both hope and heartbreak in a single scroll. Videos of tiny, trembling bodies, cats on highways, under bridges, inside boxes. Scenes that could break you. But then, a woman appears, running, kneeling, holding life in her hands. Her name is Dina Taji. A woman who didn't just rescue cats, she rebuilt their lives and in the process, rewrote hers. She turned her home into a sanctuary, her car into an ambulance, and every day into a mission. Today, we meet the woman behind these heroic acts. Thank you so much for being here, Dina.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Every time we watch your videos, we see you running. We see you trying to save a life.
Yeah.
I want to know exactly what happens before you rush from your car. What kind of emotions you experience?
I mean, most of my life I've been solution driven. And if I see a problem, the first thing that comes to mind is how can I solve it? Especially if there's someone or an animal's life is in danger. I don't think there's too much thinking to it.
Yeah.
I think, what can I do right now, and just do it. The only thing probably that would come to mind is I don't want to put anyone's life in danger while I'm doing it, but I just want to immediately act in that moment. Because in those kind of moments, you do have to act immediately, or someone is going to get hurt or an animal is going to lose their life. So there isn't too much thought. Probably should be more than I usually do.
How many times have you seen a cat on the streets and you rushed to rescue this cat?
Wow. I've been doing this for many years. I really, I don't even know. I know that we rescued 2,500 cats in about a year and a half.
2,500?
I mean, on the roads and highways, I can't recall 9 in 10 days, but it usually happens in the winter. And this happens worldwide because cats find their way in engines and
True.
fall out when there's heavy traffic, or find their way to the side of the highway. So this happens everywhere. And I guess my subconscious mind now is so focused on it, because when I see a dead cat on the highway, it's like we have this part in our brain called the reticular activating system. Mine's completely activated because every time I'm driving, it's just like scanning.
Yeah.
You know, and just like, oh my God, in case there's a cat on the highway, I want to be able to save its life. And I don't want it to be one of these cats that I end up seeing on the highway dead. So my brain is focused on it. That's probably why I keep seeing it more often than I should.
I don't know how long it took you to reach this stage in your life, to reach this focus. I want to know, who's Dina?
You know,
what happened for Dina to become this person today who's rushing to rescue?
many people, you know, when they meet me or they see my social media, the first thing that they say is, oh, you are a proper crazy cat lady. You know, since I was a little kid, even my parents told me, they're like, Dina, you would give all your toys away to everyone. You'd be like, oh, if a little girl wants to play with your toy, you can have it. And anytime I saw anyone homeless on the street or someone that was less fortunate, I'd be like, Mama, Baba, let's help them. You know, let's give them, you know, these coins that you gave me to go play games with. And I never really saw myself as someone who would be rescuing cats. To be honest with you, it's not about cats, it's about being human. And it just so happens to be that we have an overpopulation of stray cat crisis that's happening worldwide. This isn't just here in this country, you know, it's happening everywhere. And it's happening with dogs, and it's happening with many different animals. And depending on what country it is, it's different animals in a different amount. So to be honest with you, if it's any animal, any human, anything that I can do in that moment, I'm gonna do it. And it's just part of being human.
Absolutely. But some might ask, why cats?
Whatever we focus on is gonna grow. Okay, if you drive around now here in this country, you're not gonna be finding cats in every corner. You know, it's very rare. That's why many people get shocked when they see the videos and they might get the wrong impression. It's when you're in that world, you see more of it. So it just depends on what world you want to focus on.
Yeah.
This is happening everywhere. People want to adopt cats from us from the States. And they're like, I can't believe what's happening over there. I'm like, actually, the same thing is happening in your city. And you have so many shelters around you where cats are waiting to be rehomed.
Mhm.
It's just, you're just on my page and you're focusing on my page, but this is happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Cats can reproduce every 3 months.
Mhm.
So that's why the crisis is happening everywhere.
Stray cats are a global issue. But what is the biggest problem we are facing today with stray cats on a global scale?
Exactly. On a global scale is where you said it, because it's happening in every part of the world, including Turkey itself. You have so many people who are like, oh, if only the world was like Turkey. But I have hundreds of messages of people messaging me from Turkey saying that there's different parts in Turkey where cats are suffering and being put to sleep and need, medical care and all of that. And there's an overpopulation of them and they're trying to scatter them out in different parts because it's too much. So that means that even if you have feeding stations or a government's system, still it's so bigger than what people could fathom. And it's not just a stray cat crisis, it's a variety of things. For an example, irresponsible pet ownership. You have so many people that get cats for their children. And then when the child doesn't play with the kitten anymore and it grows to be older, they put it outside in the garden. And the problem that we face here is that you have so many people that come from different parts of the world. They come here for work. If they lose their job and they realize, well, it's going to cost me a couple thousand dirham to take the cat back with them. And they already don't have even funds to even get back to their home country. They're going to try to rehome the cat most of the time, and then they fail and the cats wind up in the street. So this is the main issue that is coming from people that are visiting this country and not being responsible for their cats. Another thing is breeding. We already have a huge population of all breeds waiting to be rehomed. So every time someone buys a pet from the shop or from a breeder, you're basically taking that chance away for a cat that is on the street waiting for a home to feel safe and to be loved. So this is why we need to really try to raise awareness on avoiding getting animals from the pet shop, because you already have rescues in shelter that are healthy and waiting. So these are one of the most important points. And then it will come down to what's called TNR, trapping the cat, neutering it or spaying it, and then returning it back to its location. That way we can limit the amount of cats that are reproducing every month. This is what's going to control the population. And on top of that, male cats that are not neutered are far more aggressive. They're not calm, so they start attacking other cats and they die. And so it's a ripple of things.
True.
And and I really just want to emphasize that if only people in their own community got involved, because you'll have so many people on social media attacking governments in all parts of the world. But we have laws for everything. If you murder someone, you'll even get death penalty. That didn't stop people from killing, right? So even if there's systems in place, it's people that need to be responsible. People need to take action, despite whatever system is going to be applied. People in their communities also need to do what they can. You don't have to go and run across a highway road to rescue a cat in order to make a difference. And you don't have to donate a significant amount of money to make a difference. You could share videos. You can tell your friends and tell them, don't but get from the pet shop, adopt. You can help in so many different ways. And if everyone just made one little thing that they did to contribute to society, we could achieve so much more.
Absolutely. Imagine if each household adopts a 1 or 2 cats. We will end the stray cats crisis on a global scale.
Yeah. I mean, even just being able to provide a safe garden and stuff, many people are allergic or they know they can't take that responsibility, which I respect.
Definitely.
Some people are like, you know what, I can't. I would love to. I love having a pet, but I know that I wouldn't be able to take on that commitment. And that's very important, because we don't want to just have everyone taking a pet and then knowing they don't realize, oh my God, I had no idea what kind of responsibility it is. And then they wind up back on the street again. So it's just creating clean environments, focusing on getting them neutered and spayed, helping wherever you can, no matter what it is, even if it's putting water and food outside for them. These little daily things that we can do is what makes a difference, that compiles together And what makes a difference is coming together as a community and respecting the city, the country that we're in, the neighborhood that we're in, and just doing our part as being human.
Of course. And in the UAE, compassion isn't just a value, it's a principle integrated into the country's vision for a compassionate, responsible society. From campaigns that encourage kindness to stray animals or animals in general, to strict laws that protect them from harm and neglect. Many individuals don't understand the emotional weight of rescuing cats or even sheltering them. Could you please tell us, how do you navigate all of these heavy emotions?
That's a very good question. And this could apply to everyone, actually. Just to keep it very simple, okay? We have different parts of our nervous system, and it's so important to understand how the nervous system works and affects us because it what controls and coordinates every function in our body. So to keep it simple, we have two different parts of our nervous system. One part that allows us to digest food, to recover, to rest. And then we have one part that prepares us for anything that could be life-threatening, okay? These two cannot work at the same time. If you're about to get shot or have an accident, you're not going to be in a very calm state. Your body is going to respond immediately. Your eyes are going to dilate, your muscles are going to be activated, blood sugar is going to get released, your heart rate is going to go up so that you can prepare and be able to know, what should I do right now to protect myself? And when you're in a calm state, you don't get as bloated, you sleep better, you think more clear.
You get hungry.
Exactly. So we think stress and then rest, if you think about it, okay? But so many people are in a constant, dominant, stressed lifestyle. And your body can respond to stress in different ways. It could be emotional, it could be physical, maybe you have an injury, maybe you're in pain, inflammation, it could be chemical even, the food that you eat. Your body's responding to this stress and this toxins that are in your body to try to eliminate it. So it's so important to be able to know how to switch, how to go from a stressed state to a more rest and recovered state. And this is so important to help us to achieve our goals, to be able to recover from anything our body is going through.
Absolutely.
And to be able, even in our own friendships, our own relationships, to make better decisions. Why? Because when we're in a stressed out state, okay, we're activating a part in our brain called the amygdala and the limbic system. All right. These are where we hold past traumas, where we hold memories. So we're going to be thinking from an irrational state. Okay. We're going to be thinking from a state of panic. We're driven by fear. So we're not going to judge a situation the way that it should be judged. Even people, we're going to be panicking. So that's why it's important to be able to calm yourself down and turn on that rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. That way you think clear. You're not thinking from your past experiences. You're thinking from a calm state with clarity. You can make so much better decisions. That's why if you're fighting with your partner or your friend, you're like, let me just take a breather.
True.
Because breathing, that's probably one of the reasons why people enjoy smoking cigarettes whenever they're stressed out, because I don't think it's the nicotine itself, it's the breathing itself. It's a because that's why people love yoga and breathing exercises, because it stimulates the vagus nerve, and that vagus nerve is that on switch button to help activate that parasympathetic state so that you're calm. You can think, you can make a better decision. And this is something that I have to do, because if I don't, I would never be able to continue doing what I'm doing, because it's emotionally and physically draining, and I'm an emotional person. This is why I'm doing this, because I'm like, it gets to my heart. I can't even see things that are happening worldwide. People are like, oh my God, you're rescuing cats, you're a hero. I'm like, no, I'm not. Look what's happening in the world. Like, how can I make a difference? How can I do anything and save people and save the animals? So that's why I'm like, okay, in order for me to move forward, I go to the beach. I do breathing exercises. I meditate, or I just lay there. I put some brain frequencies on to get me in a nice, certain waves frequency and just calm my state down. Even if I go run across the highway right now and I go rescue a cat, I'm heightened. My heart is racing and I'm in a stressed state. The first thing I do is I take a moment in the car, when I'm in the car, And I breathe and I calm myself down and I'm just absorbing the moments, letting it all out before I move forward. So I'm not continuing that moment in a stress state so I can make better decisions. And this is the most important thing that we can do in our lives because many people, they're like, well, I don't know how you do it. I already have enough problems in my life. I can't even think clear and I'm just stressed out, or I can't work out and I can't do this and I can't do that, because we are limited to the amount of decision making that we can do in a day. We have a capacity, you can't, we're limited to the amount of neurons we're firing in our brain. That's why successful people, they don't waste their time making these small decisions throughout the day. They'll even wear the same thing every single day just to limit the decision making so that they can prioritize what's important for that day so they can be able to execute as much as they can. So that's why it's like, I don't waste my time doing things that is going to drain me out of my energy, where I'm not going to be able to give back and focus on the things that I want to achieve. And this is so important for, I think, everyone to understand.
Definitely, especially when you're rescuing vulnerable animals and carrying out a very humanitarian mission at its core. It's very stressful. But as you mentioned earlier, stress is everywhere. We rush to our works early in the morning.
Exactly.
Harsh mornings.
Yeah.
We try to do our jobs as fast as possible because we get one task and another. Then we try to go back home to get the food done, to feed the kids, to feed, let's say, our pets.
Yeah.
And then we jump to the gym. Then we try to squeeze a bit of time for our, dream project, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stressful situation.
It is.
Or a stressful routine in our lives.
Yeah.
And you've just mentioned stuff about the amygdala, part of the brain, and the frontal cortex,
prefrontal,
which are terminologies I came across because myself, I'm trying to manage the stress I go through every day. But could you explain a little bit further about these terms to our listeners?
Yeah.
And let's say their daily routine is as hard as I described now. What can they do?
What most people do is they tend to overwhelm themselves. A lot of people either don't start exercising or eating healthy because they convince themselves that they will need a nutritionist or a gym membership or a proper plan or have more time for themselves. Too much is going on right now. I'll start later. I don't have money for a gym. I'll start later. And they overwhelm themselves with all of these aspects when we need to make small little habits that make a huge impact, like drinking water, for an example, hydrating those cells. This will even allow you to even think better and have more energy and even recover. Your body is aching sitting on the chair, or even aching just laying on the couch watching Netflix for a long time. It's these small little habits that you can do on a daily basis, because when we think of too many things, nobody will do anything, because change is the hardest thing. Everyone wants comfort, Like I said, regulating your emotions and also being able to adapt to diversity, I feel like is what would make us successful. So for an example, some people are also obsessed with going to the gym, or maybe obsessed of having that beach routine. I love going to the beach and I love exercising, but also if I don't go, it's also okay. Okay. Some people it's like therapeutic for them, which is great. But being able to adapt even to different ways of eating. For an example, having a circadian rhythm is also great. But then if you fall out of that rhythm, it can be stressful for some people. So when people feel like they need an every single day routine and it has to be done that way in order for them to feel that they're at their best, then what happens if it doesn't work out that way? Because life isn't like that. Life is going to throw some things at you. And you're also going to have different priorities in that time. Like sometimes I don't work out and it's okay. I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm moving my body. It's okay, because that's all that's important to me. And now I have something else today that's important to focus on. So it's being able to create a routine that works for your lifestyle, that's not overwhelming, and small little ones that you add in. Breathing exercise that you can do at night before you go to bed is one thing that I can recommend. Because if it's not something that you can do, you can get tired and fall asleep immediately. So maybe that's not the best thing early in the morning for some people. So when you lay in your bed, go on YouTube, go search Theta waves that will help me relax and relieve stress, whatever. Put those waves in your ears, a headset with with a wire, preferably.
Or even
Lay
on
there
speaker,
and just lay there and just listen and just breathe, and don't control the breathing, and just observe your body. Are you feeling tense? Are you locking your jaw? Are you shrugging your shoulders? Observe the way that your body is responding when you're trying to be in a relaxed state, because that also says a lot.
True.
Observing is everything, because if we don't understand our state, how are we going to know what we need, and how are we going to know what to change?
You're right. Yeah.
So this is the most important thing, is the reason why we meditate as well. It's like calming the mind down. We're constantly being stimulated and getting these messages coming in. But when we calm the mind down, our soul speaks. And that's when our true self is more centered, and we come back to ourselves. We're not influenced by past experiences and trauma or what we see in front of us. Now it's like, hold on, I'm back to my true self. And what do I want for myself? And what makes me happy? And what makes me feel calm?
Yeah.
And you know exactly what to do if you allow yourself to let that become,
But is it easy to silence all the thoughts in your mind and reach that calm stage that I would hear the inner voice in me, do this or don't do that? Is it easy to reach this stage?
Everyone is different, and no, it's not easy. I think it's not easy even if you're a calm person. Why? Because there's so much that we see on a daily basis.
True.
All these signals that are coming inward, not outward, watching TV, looking at our phone, talking to people, looking at signs along the way. Constantly, our mind is being occupied. So that is going to be challenging for everyone, but that doesn't mean that it's not, that you can't do it. What matters is that you do it, but you do it consistently.
True.
People want results immediately. Now you could be like, wow, I felt good. But what happens? People fall back into old routine.
Yeah.
And then, but that didn't help me much. No. How long were you doing it for? This is the question.
You're right.
And consistency is the only thing that brings real sustainable results. That's going to formulate continuous habits. And this is what we need to do. Even if it's 1 minute, don't overwhelm yourself with 15 minutes. Go stretch for 1 minute. Go do one mobility exercise in your day when you wake up, while you're even in bed. You don't even have to put your gym clothes on. Wow. There's no excuse, but it's just finding ways on what works for you just to even get started.
I want to know a little bit about the community you surround yourself with, the people around you. Are they supportive of your missions when it comes to rescue missions? And are they supportive of your spiritual journey that you are going through, let's say, on a daily basis?
To be quite honest, I'm not the kind of person that spends time with anyone. I'm a big loner. Okay, I know many people, and I just want to be honest here on this podcast. And I keep a lot to myself. I really do. And I created a community where I allowed a lot of rescuers to come into a group chat, and we try to share the cats that we find along the way, or even people, and try to see what we can do to help. And to see this community come together is something absolutely beautiful. And that's what really made me realize that the real strength is in community and coming together. Me as a person, I do keep to myself a lot. I have a lot of responsibility. I have a lot of things that I'm working on. I have a lot of decisions I have to make in my day. And I feel like the only way for me to be able to make good decisions is to really be by myself and to just do it myself. I need to learn how to delegate. This is one thing that I struggle with. And to be honest with you, it's also hurtful. There's many people out there that have the wrong impression of me or making rumors of me. Some people are saying I have a salary and I'm getting paid for rescuing these cats. And, I quiet the noise. Oh, yeah.
And who's paying you?
I know, exactly. I would love to know where the salary is. If only people knew what I'm dealing with. I'm struggling. I'm going through a lot. Emotionally, physically, people have no idea what I'm going through with my family, what I've been happening in my past, personal life that I'm still having to kind of cope with and navigate through life and understand, okay, what do I got to do right now? And just trying to survive and just trying to keep and sustain these cats' care. There's so much that is involved, and I've dedicated my life, and people don't even see, not even not even 10% of what I do. And a lot of the times people say, well, you love being on social media and that's why you have a following and that's why you're getting support and everything. And it's like, to be honest with you, I hate being on social media. Like if you go to my fitness page, I haven't really been posting anything. And I look at my page, I just want to delete everything. I want to wait for my fitness app to launch and just share valuable information. I don't even care about being seen. But what I realized is that in order to make more of a difference, I'm limited. I need to get the community involved. And I would be doing a disservice if I didn't share with people on how they could help as well. Yeah. Because you have many people that do want to help. They don't know how. They know that they wouldn't be able to go out there physically and rescue a cat or house it or treat it. Or they might even have a phobia towards cats, but they do want to help financially, you know, or they want to spread awareness and share the post or something. So this is the reason why I put my face on social media as well, because people also want to know who's behind everything. If I'm going to contribute or I'm going to, you know, get involved with someone's, you know, platform, I want to know, can I trust this person? Who is this person? And it's just, you know, so you got a lot of drama that's going on in the rescue world. You really do. And you have a lot of people who are just like, I'm just going to keep to myself, because at the end of the day, to me, it's about the animals. That's all I care about.
I agree with you. And why not, Dina, to share what you're doing when it comes to rescuing animals and your mission? You know, we see all these posts about luxury and fancy life and people, you know, talking about stuff, you know, of course, everyone is allowed to say their opinion, but you see many content that is a clatter kind of content. When it comes to rescuing animals and doing such a heroic act, is something we must see more often of, not be criticized for posting about it.
You know, people will always have their opinion and they'll always try to bring people down. And that's why it's important to just focus on your goal, quiet the noise. You know what's in your heart, and that's all that matters. It does hurt because I put my blood, sweat, and tears into all of this. And I've helped so many people and so many other rescuers along the way. And it's just disappointing to see, you know, this part of the world where you're like, you know, we need to come together, but people are separating from each other. And it's like, it's just sad to see. But anyways, that's why I keep to myself, long story short. And I do have this community, which there is amazing, beautiful people that I come across. And, you know, you come across so many people that don't have nothing. And they will do whatever they can. And they go out their way and they don't have social media. So many people are probably doing so much more than me, but are not on social media, you know, but they do a lot. So I don't want to focus and emphasize on, oh my God, you know, there's a lot of drama and there's no one out there that really cares. No, there is, but there is also a lot of drama that's happening as well. And people ego. And people jealous of each other. And rescuers are like, this person's getting more support than that person. And it's like, you guys, forget about it all. Let's just connect with those who just want to make a difference and help and see how we can come together. You can foster one cat. You can contribute to this. You can make a post for the video and just work together as a team.
And that's such a wonderful approach.
Yeah.
Do you think rescuing healed a part in you?
Wow, rescuing definitely healed parts of me that I never even knew existed. I think a lot of us, or I could speak for myself, you know, try to figure maybe a person out, right? Let's say you meet someone and you try to figure them out by their behaviors or the way that they talk, so you can come to a conclusion of what you think of this person. Yeah. And it's interesting because when you rescue these cats, you realize that they have so much in common with humans. They have their traumas, they have their triggers, and we don't know their story. And it's difficult because you'll have them hiss and they'll attack you and they'll bite you and they'll scratch you, and you'll have your moments where you're like, oh, I'm just trying to help you. You know what I mean? Or like, just please calm down, you know? So you actually have to learn how to communicate without words. You have to learn how to be more calm and how to allow them to heal at their own pace. And the same thing goes for humans. People are always so quick to judge and so quick to figure other people out. We don't know the cat's story. We don't know people's story. But I know that if you allow them to heal on their own pace, without judgment, with love, patience, resilience, you will start to see the transformation unfold from an aggressive cat that was attacking and biting and jumping to become one of the most loving cats that you could ever see. Same thing applies to humans. And that's where that connection that I have is like, wow, you know, and it's so important because it's like, love is not only a human need, it's a universal need.
So true.
And we can do so much when we just do everything with love and patience and calm and without judgment.
I believe our viewers and listeners would wonder about the combination you created for yourself. You're very knowledgeable. You've got a lot of information about oneself when it comes to spiritual, health-wise, also certain parts in our brain that control how we feel and our emotions. And at the same time, you've got this part in you that loves to rescue and understands a lot about cats. Also, we've got the other part that is into fitness.
Yeah.
And as I've learned, you are launching your fitness app.
Yes.
So I want to know, how are you managing all of these, let's say, areas in your life?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially because I struggle to delegate. You know, when I feel like I do things myself, I can get it done better and faster. And it's hard because I'm in a tough situation as well, where it's like, okay, I can't hire many people because I'm limited on funds and all of that. So it's a bit difficult. I'm managing, just being able to regulate my mood and just staying positive and focusing on what needs to be done and having that work-life balance is what's going to help me to keep moving forward. Before, I used to be the kind of person where I was like, there's a deadline and it needs to reach that deadline. And it's like, I have to do this, I have to get this done in the day. I'm not like that anymore.
Good.
Yes. And because I realized we can't force anything. If I were to launch my app 2 years ago, I was a different person then as well. I've evolved so much as a person in these past 2 years. And looking back at everything that didn't happen or happened later on was a blessing in disguise. So that's why I don't stress out about anything that doesn't follow through fast enough. And I'm like, everything at its own pace. I'm juggling a lot of things at once right now. And that's why it's taking time, and that's okay. Just focus on what I can do today, what I can do tomorrow, and that's all I have right now. And not overwhelming myself, because if I do, I won't be able to get anything done. So that's why things are taking longer than it would, but that's okay. And that's fine. This is part of my journey. So reminding myself those things is what allows me to be able to manage everything. But of course, structure and strategy and just, being organized and all of that plays a huge part.
Dina, you've said that it's hard for you to delegate.
Yeah.
Why do you think? Why do you think that maybe you don't trust others to do the job that you can do?
Well, because investing the money that I have into building the app and then rescuing cats took so much of my time, where I wasn't taking on clients and making as much money as I was before. So I found myself in a state where oh my God, I don't have money and I'm trying to survive and I don't know how to move forward and delegate because I need to hire people. And so it's being stuck because
juggling
it's juggling because I was working and I was making good amount of money, and then that money ran out, and then I was doing classes, and then now I can't do classes because you can't find studios to rent it out like before. So now I'm making much less money, but then my time was going into the cats. And it takes a lot of time. I'm treating these cats and I'm giving them medicine, putting them in the bathroom, and putting together the sanctuary and back and forth talking to people to get them adopted and vets, and there's so much that's involved. So, but I'm like, I have to do it. I don't want to stop. This cat needs me, but I have to make money, and I'm not. So I'm compromising a lot. And I'm stuck in a state, and I don't know the solutions for everything, And so I'm still learning. I'm still learning on how to figure it all out. I don't have the answers to everything, but all I know is that I'm trying to do what I can. And that's why for me, the fitness app, I feel like hopefully when it launches, it will be a success for women to feel their best and have everything that they need in one platform. Like, I put so much of my effort into it because I wanted to be able to provide a platform for women to have everything that they need, but those profits go into helping people and helping animals, not limited to cats, which I'll share later on when people see my social media. They'll see the upcoming things that I'm working on in terms of humanitarian aid and stuff, but we won't get into that right now. So if you guys are watching, please stay tuned because this is the way forward. And yeah, I need to learn how to delegate and maybe ask for help. Yeah. I think that's also a problem that I've had my entire life, is that it's hard for me to ask for help or even accept help from anyone unless it's someone that I'm genuinely like, I love and respect and they're very close to me. Obviously it came from childhood. Got to figure out where this came from, but it's it's very difficult for me, but maybe there is interns out there that would support me and help me do some things for free. I don't know. I never asked for help. So maybe I should start doing that. See what happens when you think out loud.
We were talking about the fitness app. You've seen there's a lot of information about fitness, health, dedicated to women. Some of them are right, some of them are wrong, and each individual is different than the other. So what is tailored to fit me is different than what is good for you. Would your fitness application provide, let's say, information to cover these differences of different bodies, different, let's say, blood groups, different stamina to hold certain exercises?
For sure. So I'm also writing a book. It's called 7777 Dina's Method, and it's the 7 fundamentals.
I love the title already.
Thank you. 7 fundamentals of, human bodies and well-being and nutrition and exercise and everything, but in a simplified manner where people can go back and whenever they have time, they can read through things and understand their body well. And that's just a booklet of just a little bit of guidance combined with the app where I'm providing additional videos where I'm breaking down different topics for people to understand their body. As you said, every individual is different, and it's important for people to understand how their body works and how their body is responding and what they can do to be able to reach their specific goals, which is why I created a system in the app where it's so simple and easy. For an example, if someone is dealing with hypothyroidism or endometriosis or insulin resistance or SIBO, whatever it is, they could just go into the system and say, I want a meal that's vegan. It's going to help me build muscle. That's also good for hypothyroidism, but also I have high estrogen or whatever. That's gluten-free. And they just click on the tags that they want and all the meal recipes pop up in English and in Arabic on how to cook it with all the ingredients and everything. I want a platform where it's just easy for women. And same thing goes when wanting to search for an exercise, a mobility routine, a workout routine, or a program, just making it easy. And soon, hopefully I'll start integrating AI so that people can easily, put their blood work in there and then also have doctors that they can talk to online. I'm looking into these different companies on how to work together with them. I'm not a doctor. So at the end of the day, I can only share information that I've learned and would combine with my, experience. So that's why it's important. I want to collaborate with really good doctors and people that they can trust so they can have access to be able to get real, advice in terms of medical, care. But in terms of, health recipes and exercises and everything. But the great thing about it is that I'm there to guide them every step of the way, where they can contact me on the app and we have this instant messaging chat. There's so many different features. So I don't want to take so much of your time on the podcast, but it's really a really interesting app that I created. I really wanted to really be valuable for women.
Do you think the application idea came across your mind because you feel there is so many information that we don't know about our bodies, plus the kind of food we eat and the kind of food available in the supermarkets, the kind of food available on the streets, even when it comes to junk food, etc. And the awareness about exercise has been widespread, let's say, in the past few years. So maybe these factors combined together made you walk through the health journey and then later on create the fitness app?
I think it's also my personal experience dealing with polycystic ovary syndrome, endometriosis. Also, I have empty sella in the brain that's affecting, my master gland in my brain that's affecting all of my different hormones in my body. So, and I also injuring my back, and just all of these things that I've been through in my own personal life is what made me a better coach. Every time I pray to God, I don't really ask for anything other than praying for other people. But when I do ask for anything, I'm like, please, I just want to be a better coach. I want to be able to guide my clients better. I want to be good at being a coach. And then boom, I injure my back. I want to be good at being a coach. And now I'm dealing with gut issues. I want to be good at being a better coach. And then I'm going through all of these different situations in my life, and God answered my prayers. Those things is what allowed me to learn about the human body and to have a different approach with women. Before 10 years ago, I was completely different than how I would approach any of my clients now. The way I would consult them, the way I would support them, the way I would give any guidance is so different. So it's the combination of personal experience as well as realizing the amount of people in different parts of the world that don't have access to a gym, that don't have access to people around them that they can trust to get that kind of support, and also very affordable. My programs is going to be 1 dirham a day.
Wow.
So that is not even equivalent to what, a quarter a day.
Yeah.
And they have access to everything. So I want to be able to reach as many people as possible to have a platform where they're like, finally, I have everything that I need, you know, and it's not expensive. And, you know, I have that support.
We reached the conclusion of our episode and time ran so fast. One last question.
Sure.
Let's say if you are doing your best with the health aspect, helping people to heal and recover, and as well, alongside this work, you're also trying to help stray cats and helping, you know, vulnerable animals. In the coming few years, how do you think your life would be different?
If I were to visualize my near future, I would say I'd probably be traveling different parts of the world and seeing ways on what areas would require my support in any way. Like, I want to know, what could I do? What could I do to make an impact? So if it's coming and bringing supplies to people that are starving around in different parts of the world, bringing medical care to even animals as well in different parts of the world, whatever it is, it really doesn't matter, as long as I'm utilizing my time and my life and making an impact.
Yeah.
Because I see that, okay, I have a little bit of followers, you know, and on all these, on my fitness platform, on the cat rescue platform, and it's making me realize there are many people out there that do want to help.
Yeah.
They do want to help, but they don't know how. So I want to go there. I want to be physically involved as well and share with people and come together as a community to make a difference, because it's possible. It's possible. So I can see myself doing that, running a sanctuary, a shelter, and then at the same time traveling and seeing ways on how I can, you know, support people around the world and animals everywhere. So that would be that's my main goal.
So in a world that prioritizes individualism, your message is do good to others, do good to all beings. Could you share this message to our audience in your own language?
We can easily get caught up in this fast-paced lifestyle and become so selfish because people are feeling very overwhelmed and they're just like, forget about others, forget about helping. I need to help myself. And we can fall into that very easily.
Yeah.
And that's what disconnects us from truth. And what life is all about, in my opinion, is doing what you can. You've been given this life. You've been given a life, and you're healthy, and you can walk, and you can talk, and you can breathe, and you can move. What do you want to do with that life? Is it really that all you want to do is work and pay bills? If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But let's not forget that this disconnects us from being human. What makes us strong, in my opinion, is being able to remain gentle in a world that taught us to be so tough. I've been hurt plenty of times. I've been scammed. I've been heartbroken. I've been cheated on. I've been lied to. That doesn't mean that everyone is like that. That doesn't mean that now I have to turn into a bitter, selfish person and just protect myself and focus on life for myself. When you give back and you do good, you're also going to feel better about your life. But that's not everyone. That's not for everyone. That's my message, though, and how it makes me feel. So, yes, I just want to share with everyone that you can make a difference. And even if you think, oh, but it's not compared to what this person is doing. No, there's no comparison. All that matters is that you are doing what you can. And this is what it comes down to. And if we all did that, we'd make such a huge difference.
Thank you so much, Dina.
Thank you.
episode and the conversation with you is beyond phenomenal.
Thank
to
you
many
so
levels.
much for having me here. I appreciate it.
Thank
Really,
you.
thank you.
So our message to the audience, do good, be good, and stay tuned.